So, hey everybody, what's new? Lazy Bones is asleep again over there, and I don't think you can see her. See her on a tree, all snuggled down, flat as a pancake. And she's a darling. So, she's got a new friend. Who is it? One of those kid toys. Anyway, as I say, anything new? I just wanted to check out of curiosity really to see how Hungry Patrick was doing, and her weight is down to 392, which means that she weighs less than Foodie Beauty. Foodie's got to be 500 pounds, she's got to be, at least. She really did look awful. I'm going to do a video on her later. Just a funny one, because I can't bring myself to overly criticise her now, because we all know what an awful person she is. We all know that, you know, the fake marriage and the broad beliefs, being a devout Muslim, really. Happened overnight, did it? It did. Not because she found the religion that she needed, but because she found a man whose religion it is. I find it odd with him filming, because he's constantly, as they say, in himself, in the camera, every chance he gets. You know, he's not particularly talking about anything of interest. He's looking at the camera. He thinks he's a modern day Errol Flynn or Omar Sharif. No, Salah, news for you, you aren't. And to be quite honest, your English is good, but you are so predictable in what you say. You haven't got a unique thought in that silly head of yours. I know you mean, regardless of what is said by Chantal, I know that your main objective is to get to Canada, and it just astonishes me that you chose to go about it by finding a woman who would fall in with you, a woman who made a lot of money, who would give you control over the finances and come to Kuwait, marry you and get you into Canada and allow you to live off her for as long as you want to, basically. Does she know that you can divorce her quite easily by saying 3 times, I divorce you? Is that still a thing? I don't know. Does she know if she decides to drop the facade because you've left her, or, you know, it's all worn off and she's back in Canada, does she know that then she will be considered an apostate, and as such other Muslims are at liberty to expunge her from the world? Does she know that? She didn't know, that silly woman, what she was walking into. She's now enormous. I've got some pictures, some comparison pictures that I'll show later. And she's enormous. She's got to have put on over £50, maybe, 100, towards 100, since she's been with Salah. How long has it been? Almost a year. And now everything's fallen away really when she's back in Kuwait, and she's reduced to doing mukbangs again. I personally find mukbangs disgusting. You've got people eating all these copious amounts of food, shoveling it into their mouths as fast as they can, then having problems with their digestive system, problems because they're constipated, problems because they're nauseous all the time, and problems because their weight just goes up and up and up. Look at Ricardo. That man was fit as a fiddle, wasn't he? He could play the violin. I don't know what he actually did on his channel. He's not somebody who appealed to me, even before the mukbangs, but he was fit, apparently. And then he decided that mukbangs was where the money lay. And I understand he's a dollar millionaire now. And is he trying to get fit? Maybe, I don't know. But the damage that it must do to your organs when you pile on the weight to that extent. But I don't know whether you'd ever fully recover from that. I really don't know. So Candy is $3.92, I think. It's gone out my head again. My head is like candy floss at the moment, which is all right. I don't mind feeling like candy floss, and I'm wrapped up in this lovely housecoat dressing gown, which I love, and I feel pampered, and I've needed that the past week, really. I mean, even when my kids have come, I've stayed in bed. I felt that poorly. And there's nothing that they can do for me. As I say, the consultant said vertebroplasty is not on the cards because it would be like trying to attach water to water to meld my vertebrae with cement. It can't be done. As I think it was Cindy who said in the comments, can you not get a second opinion? Well, I've had a second opinion on the NHS, and they say the same. I could go private and get a second opinion, but just to go for a short consultation, like we're talking about half an hour, one man I'm thinking of is over £200, and that's without x-rays, without getting my medical records, without having me in and assessing me. The cost would be astronomical. I wouldn't be able to do it, and I don't think that the answer's going to be any different, to be honest. It's a pity now that we can't trust our NHS. I don't feel that we can. with Al. You know, he was in the hospital. He was dehydrated from that effing nursing home that I was constantly arguing with, but of course with COVID, couldn't go. And he was dehydrated. He was on a ventilator, and they made the decision, they did, to take him off the ventilator before we even got to the hospital. We were lucky that we had half an hour without before he passed. But they turned the ventilator off without asking our consent, without allowing us to be there, without keeping him, ensuring that he stayed on Earth until we could get there. That shows a total lack of consideration for us all, Alf included, and a total lack of compassion and empathy. And that's what I found. I'm going to come on later and I'm going to tell you a couple of horror stories about my stay in hospital. The one Christmas, I think it was 2017, I'm not sure, a couple of weeks before Christmas, I fell in my kitchen and fractured a hip. And then the following year, the same week as the previous year, I fell in my kitchen and I'd been out to lunch and, you know, had a lovely day and I was making a cup of tea and I fell and had the kettle in my hand. It fell in the sink, fortunately. And they had to cut my, a new pair of trousers on and all the stuff, and they had to cut my clothes off me, the paramedics. And I have to say, the paramedics I've found each time have been fantastic, but the care in the hospital is less than should be expected. I have a fear of having to go into hospital again because I had such horrific time both times when I did my hip. When I almost died, they gave me a 15 to 20% chance of survival. With the ulcer, I must say that the care I got was exemplary. That was 8 years ago. So, yes, I've got some horror stories and I fear going back into hospital, and the last few days I felt that ill. I felt that it might be on the cards. I've had to eat the morphine again. Not a lot, sort of some first thing in the morning, some at lunchtime and some in the evening, and it sort of kept me a little bit, I don't know, comfy, I suppose, and I've stayed here, I've been sensible. So I feel a lot better than I did, and I feel all nice and snuggly. I came across this morning, whose channel was it? They had some old community posts of foodie beauties that she deleted them all, you know, and this channel had kept them. I can't remember who it was, and I was shocked to come across one of me again with the dog face. I must get a copy of that and keep it, because just to remind me what a nasty piece of work she is. But But actually I've got a picture that's not too far off being Foodie Beauty, so I'll upload that later. I know I'm wondering, I'm flitting from topic to topic, and that's what I'm going to do today. I just feel like talking, I feel like company, I don't feel like hiding away, and I do feel that I'm talking to friends, I do. So thank you all for being there, and I will be back later. I'm listening for my front door because I've got a new vacuum cleaner coming. My little cordless one that I love, that I race around with upstairs, it keeps cutting out for some reason and we can't work out what the problem is. Still working, still. So I'm going to put that on the top floor so I don't have to keep lugging it round. I mean, the big main vacuum is downstairs. So I've got this other one coming, and so I can clean the house at the weekend. Do you want to see a cleaning video? I've never done that. I've never done a cleaning video with you, and I used to love to clean, but now I just feel that I don't know, I can't gee myself up to do anything and to unclutter my home, but I need to, I really do. Anyway, I'll be back later, and I hope you get to see me back, toothless and all. Lots of love, everybody. See you later.